Hey everyone, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com, and again, I am doing one of these impromptu videos, sort of a response to an email that I got. I can't be specific in this email, so I can't read this email because it's got too many specifics. But I get emails sort of like this several times, maybe a month or throughout the year, and in the basic sentiment, this email that I got would basically tell me about this guy's had a couple of different jobs in different environments, and he became a .NET developer, basically cross trained into it, got into this really toxic work situation where his boss basically just yelled at him unprovoked and said that he couldn't do anything right. Uh, didn't take it, moved to another job, but found this other job that where the environment's apparently not so bad necessarily, but they basically don't get raises. There's no annual reviews. There's no process. They're not using Agile, Scrum, or Waterfall or anything like that. They've got generic titles, and he's kind of the best in the group, right? The manager, everyone acknowledges this, but he's afraid that this is sort of a dead end for his career. He wants to know, what should he do? Should he stay at the job? Not worry about having to move. Are these type of deal breakers normal in the industry? So this is a good. I mean, this is a pretty common situation that I think a lot of people fall into. There's something you're in this position, right? And you have job security, right? You're getting a paycheck, and it's a decent paycheck, right? It's not horrible, but you're not really advancing. You're not really learning anything. Maybe the job is even kind of easy, so it's not even that bad. But so what do you do? Do you go out there? Do you take a risk and go with another company, especially if you've had a history of bad companies, right, where you've actually been yelled at, or so how bad it can be out there. Uh, or do you just stay where you're at and just kind of hope for the best and realize that your career might not go where you want it to, but at least you'll have some sense of security. Um, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's a tough decision to make. Here's what I would advise in that situation, though. If you're in that kind of stagnated job, and really, to before I get into that, let me address the answer to that question. Not all software development environments are like that, but they're all similar in some way. What I mean is that there's always going to be some defect. Whatever job you have, like whatever company you're working for, there's always going to be some problem. It might be that they don't give raises. It might be that they treat you badly. There's going to be something that's not going to be, maybe they're using waterfall and you want to use agile, or they don't support the development of your career. Whatever it is, there's usually, it's hard to find a perfect company, so you're going to have to expect something. But if there's a lot of these things that aren't lining up, right, what I would do is I would focus on, I wouldn't quit and go look for another job. In fact, part of the problem if you have this history of getting into these bad job environments might be that your skills and your personal development is not up to par in order to get you to these better positions, right? There's a lot of companies that treat their employees poorly, and so as far as developers, their pool is limited, right? So if they're hiring you on pretty easily, it might be because they have a hard time finding developers. They have a high turnover rate, whatever that is. So what you want to do is you don't want to just go right out there into the job market. You don't want to just quit your job. That's the dumbest thing that you can do, is to just say, I've had enough, I quit my job. So many people do that, and then they're kind of screwed. It's really easy. It's a lot easier to get a job when you have a job. So keep the job. That's good. That's the thing that's going to help you to get other jobs. But at this time, you need a plan for yourself. And what it looks like is this, is you're going to set out a plan, maybe 6 months or a year out, of how you're going to personally develop your skills. Now, this plan, you're going to try to do this as much at work as possible, right? You're going to do your job, but we all know that there's downtime. We all know that we don't necessarily work to our potential. So you're going to put in extra work, and you're going to do a really good job, and you're going to figure out how you can plan your personal development with your existing job. Sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you want to go a different road, and that's fine. Then you're going to have to devote some time, before work. Maybe you take an hour or 2 hours every day before work, and you work on your own personal development. Now, plan it out. Figure out where you want to be, where you want to get in different areas, right? Maybe in your main programming language, if you're a C# developer, you learn C# better. Or if you're a web developer, you learn JavaScript, or you learn some new frameworks, or you get to a point where you want to be in, and also in areas of maybe doing algorithms, or even in interviews, right? Interpersonal skills, or maybe it's just marketing yourself. Like if you want to find out more about marketing yourself, you can check out my devcareerboost.com, my How to Market Yourself package. But whatever it is, right? All these skills that you want to develop, come up with a plan and make it 6 months minimum out, or maybe even a year, right? You stick with that old job in that place, and you start developing these skills. You start busting your butt, knowing that you're preparing for one of two things to happen, right? One is that in doing this, you're going to become so valuable that you're going to be able to actually advance. You're going to be able to get that position right in that company. You may cause circumstances in the company you're working for to change. It's unlikely, but it does happen sometimes. Sometimes all it takes is that one spark. You could be the one that does that. Or number two would be that you're going to go and you're going to find another job, but you're not going to find the same class of jobs, right? Because now you're elevating yourself to a higher level, to a higher set of skills. You're more prepared. Maybe you're actually preparing for interviews. Like you're ready for this job search. Like you're going to find a really good job. So that's kind of the way that I would say to go. That's the better route than just quitting your job and then you're taking the gamble of maybe you'll get another crappy job. And then once you've finished that progression, right, or towards the tail end of it, give yourself about 2 to 3 months to find another job while you're working the job you're at. Come up with a real strategy. If you devoted the 2 hours a day to improving your skills, now devote those 2 hours a day to sending out resumes, to finding a good job, and get yourself a couple of different offers. Check out the company. Make sure that when you make a jump, that it's going to be a good one. And that's the way to do it. I think is don't put yourself in a situation where there's a gun to your head. I like to use that expression a lot because I think a lot of people do that when they quit their job, when they know that they've got a time limit. If you're cushioning your current job, fine. Develop your skills. Look for another job while you're there where you don't have that pressure, and then you'll be able to jump and hopefully you'll find something better. But don't stay in a situation where you don't feel like you're going to grow, or unless you're the exception to this. There is one exception I'll say is what kind of job that is or that job is great for if you are trying to build a side business, right? Because you want that not demanding job where there's no room for advancement and there's and people are just kind of hanging around, because that's going to give you a lot of time to work on your side business while someone's paying you to do it. Not saying that you don't do your job, but I'm saying that a high if you go into another job that's a high stress 40, 50 or 50, 60 hour a week type of environment, you might not have time to build your own thing. So if you're thinking about doing an entrepreneurial thing, then you're in a perfect position. Stay there. Go ahead and start building up your business. Maybe it'll take a couple of years, and you've got a nice, easy job that you're getting a decent paycheck. Don't worry about climbing up the ranks. So you got to figure out what path you're going on. If you plan on climbing up the ranks and you know that you're not going to do it there, then hey, retool yourself, get out there and find another job. Well, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, about this topic or something I didn't cover here, just send me a comment or an email. And don't forget to subscribe, or forget. I don't know why I always say don't forget to subscribe, but if you would, please subscribe to this channel if you like this video, if you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. Some of it will be career-related stuff, and some of it will be, just whatever I can do to help you. If you send me an email, I'll try to answer your question perhaps in a video. All right, take care.